One, two, three, clap. Gen Z has no movie stars, and here's the reason why. Okay, so recently this list came out about the new Hollywood Gen Z or new A-list actors taking the industry by storm, and I want to react to the list because I haven't really went through the list. I just saw a few of the names on Twitter, and like when they put this list out, there was so much controversy about the list. Like, does Gen Z really have no movie stars? If you're on film Twitter at all, follow me on Twitter. You know that there's been like a conversation going on, like, why is there no movie stars? Like, if we look back, we can look back in the day at like a Leonardo DiCaprio, like a Brad Pitt, Will Smith, like any of these actors back in the day who have like multiple movies that make 500 million, over like $100 million movie. Tom Cruise is somebody who's still making consecutive hits in the box office. And if you look at movies nowadays, it feels like every movie is going on to streaming services. So it's like, can we really have movie stars if every movie is on a streaming service? Like, no. Okay, so we're gonna be reacting to the list, and I'm just gonna be giving my thoughts on each person on the list, if they're actually a movie star or do they have potential to be a movie star. Because this list is like upcoming people who could potentially become movie stars or who they think that's new movie stars. Basically, it doesn't say anything about Gen Z, but I'll put the Gen Z part in because it's like, do we have movie stars who are in the age bracket of being a Gen Z? So we're gonna react to the list. Let's get into the list before I get talking too much. Okay, so the first person on the movie star list they consider upcoming talent is Austin Butler. Austin Butler, if you've seen Dune 2, you know Austin Butler's like immensely talented. Like, he's able to get into like these weird characters. Like, he's what I would consider like a character actor rather than like a personality actor. I didn't come up with that, but I consider him a character actor because he's been known to get into like these characters. Like, he fits into a character. Like, he's not acting his personality, he's acting a character. So I could definitely consider Austin Butler a movie star, as at least up and coming, at least because he had Elvis and he had Dune. I don't think he's not going to be in Dune 3 because his character just died. But Austin Butler is definitely somebody I'll consider a movie star, especially with his let me see. He was an Oscar nominated for his biopic, Elvis biopic. Yep. He's going to be in another movie called The Bike Riders coming out soon. Okay, so the next person they have on the list is Timothée Chalamet. I feel like Timothy's like the one. I'll consider Timothée Chalamet like the one movie star that we have that's like for sure a movie star. Like, Timothée Chalamet. Let me see his discography, his filmography. Why do I keep on saying discography? So obviously we all know Timothy. He got his big break with Call Me by Your Name back in like 2017, and I don't think Call Me by Your Name was as much as like a money maker, like as maybe like a big blockbuster franchise or something. Obviously, because the story, it's like an original story based off of a book, so it's like, okay, this movie might not make as much money, but he cemented himself as like a big name with Call Me by Your Name. Then he had Call Me by Your Name, Lady Bird, Beautiful Boy. I'm a Timothy fan if you can't tell. Call Me by Your Name, Beautiful Boy, Pretty Women, and those were like four movies that really cemented himself as like somebody to watch out for. But I think he really crossed the movie star threshold when he did really this year actually with Wonka and Dune 2. Because the first Dune, it was successful, but I don't think the first Dune was like, because I remember back in 2021 when they were doing the press tour for Dune, I was like, I'm definitely gonna watch this movie, but it's not like a priority to watch to me. Like, I watched Dune 1 in theater like a couple weeks before Dune 2 came out when they re-released it. But I didn't watch it when it originally came out. When you're with the term movie star, a movie star has to be somebody who's bringing in revenue for the big movie companies. You have to be somebody whose movies is actually making the profit. If you're just having you have movies going into theaters and you're not making a profit, it's hard to consider you a movie star, because at that point you're just in some movies and your movies are not really making money, or they're not making like, or the movies are not getting acclaim. With Timothy's original movies that he was getting acclaim for them, but he wasn't really making as much. Those movies weren't making as much profit as his later movies that he has coming out now. That makes sense. So yeah, that's why I don't think he would go into like the movie star until this year. And I feel like everything he's gonna do from now on until the future, I think that's when we can consider him a real movie star. Next is Jacob Authority, Jacob Authority, Jacob Authority, Jacob Elordi, the shy heartthrob. That's a word. I didn't even realize they had these nicknames. Timothée Chalamet, the sure thing. Austin Butler, the golden boy. That's kind of a good nickname. I don't know who's coming up with these nicknames, but I feel like that's kind of good. Timothée Chalamet is the sure thing because he is the sure movie star. And they have Jacob Elordi as the shy heartthrob. I feel like that's a good. I feel like that's a good nickname because I feel like he's not really on social media as much, so he's kind of like he's shy and a heartthrob because obviously. So next we have the 26-year-old Aussie actor. I'll be forgetting people are not American sometimes because I just feel like if you're in always playing an American role and you just have like an American look, like Jacob Elordi doesn't look like Australian. But what do Australian people even look like? Unless you're like Aboriginal, but like what do Australian people look like? Blonde. He's not blonde, so I don't think of him as Australian. This is interesting. Oh, this last thing. Warner wanted him to bring it. They wanted to bring him in for James Gunn Superman, but Lordy turned down. That was kind of smart. I'll talk about that later a little bit. So they have Jacob Elordi on this list, and I feel like Jacob Elordi, he wasn't. I didn't even consider him like a movie star, like somebody who does a really big movies until Saltburn. But it said, okay, so because I think of him, he started in the Kissing Booth on Netflix. His career has been kind of interesting so far. Like he started on Netflix, and with Netflix, when you started on like a Netflix movie, it's either like you're gonna stay on Netflix like a Noah Centineo or like all those Netflix actors, or you're gonna be transitioning. Where he transitioned from Netflix to HBO. I feel like HBO, if you're on an HBO show, not even that. I feel like HBO is like it's like a big step up from a Netflix show. Like no offense, I feel like Netflix has some good shows, but HBO shows are just like another caliber because they go for good actors, good cinematography. I feel like this is really just a big step up. So with Jacob Elordi, I don't really consider him a movie star just yet. I feel like he's kind of entering like that early Timothee Chalamet, where it's like he does like smaller indie movies, but it's like they're maybe not making as much profit yet. But I feel like he's definitely gonna get to that level, and he's a really good actor. If you've seen Euphoria at all, we know he's a good actor. Like he was always like one of the standout people, not even just because his character, not even just because his character was written to be a standout character in the show. Because I feel like that's also a big part of who is able to shine as a movie star. Because if you're not getting roles that are not letting you really show your acting abilities, it's hard for you to move on to that next step. But if you're getting roles that are very well written, have a lot of backstory, and have a lot of past stuff going on, it's like easier for you to show off yourself. That's why it's kind of hard. We're gonna get into that later. We're gonna get into that later. So they have Paul Mescal. I don't know. I don't really follow his career, but I think he's also like an earlier. He's also like I keep on referring to Timothy Chalamet, but it's like he's also has that career where it's like he's building up smaller roles that he's showing off his acting abilities, and it's called they're naming him the art house prince. I know Paul Mescal from that show on Hulu called Normal People, but I haven't seen the show. I just there's just those actors that you just hear about all the time, like, oh, they're so good. It's like he's like one of those actors that you hear about a lot, but it's like, oh, I haven't really seen you in anything, but I'm just gonna take social media's like I'm gonna take the praise that you get, and I'm just gonna know that you're a good actor, but I haven't really seen you in anything. Next is Jenna Ortega, the Gen Z obsession. I don't consider her a movie star at all. I'm sorry. Like I love Jenna Ortega, and I feel like she has a lot of. Me and Jenna are the same age. She's 21. I'm 21. So I feel like Jenna has a lot of potential to grow, but I don't consider her a movie star. Obviously, she was on Disney Channel. Then she did Wednesday. She's kind of having like a Zendaya type career. Like she started on Disney, and she's kind of transitioning slowly into more mature roles. And I think that's a really smart career thing to do, especially if you started like with kind of like starting from a child star place to move on to a serious career is like a difficult thing to do. We're going to talk about later when we get to Zendaya because I know she's on this list, and I have a lot of thoughts about Zendaya's career. So it looks like she's going to be starring in another movie coming out soon. And she's also going to be starring in, what is it called? Beetlejuice 2? Beetlejuice. So we're going to see Jenna Ortega progress later on. But for now, I don't consider her a movie star. Then we have Glenn Powell. Glenn Powell is kind of like a difficult one. Because he's like 35. So it's like, yeah, he's rising, but he's not young. So, and I don't know if he's at a movie star level place. I know he was in Top Gun Maverick, which I didn't see. But I know he was like, that movie was really, really successful. But that movie was successful because of Tom Cruise's and the fact that it was already the fact that the movie franchise was already well known in the past. It's easier for her to be more successful. I wouldn't say Glenn Powell's a reason why, but he was also in what's up the show. He was in Scream Queens and Hidden Figures, which are two things I've seen him in, and he was in Spy Kids 3. Don't forget about that classic. Don't forget about that classic Spy Kids 3. So right now, oh, he had Anyone But You too, and that was really successful. But right now, I don't know. He's like 80% there. He's 80% there. He just needs one more movie, I'll say. I think Glenn Powell needs one more movie, and he does have Twisters coming out. So I feel like if Twisters is a really big, a successful movie, then I'll consider him a movie star. And I'm actually excited for Twisters because that looks every movie I've seen recently, they played the trailer for it. So it's like, okay, obviously they're pushing this movie. He has another movie coming out, or maybe it's already out, called The Hitman. Is it called The Hitman? So yeah, obviously he has movies coming out. So it's like he just needs one more successful. Then he's like, okay, then Glenn Powell's a movie star, even though he's not young, but whatever. We don't age shame around here. Okay. Florence Pugh. Florence Pugh is definitely a movie star. I discovered her first with Midsummer. That movie was so like what was it? Midsummer was so disturbing. Like it's a scary movie, but it's not like outright as scary like a jump scare. It's like scary, like it like makes your bones like oh, this is Pugh. She was in Dune. She was in Oppenheimer, which I didn't see because that movie is long. Oppenheimer's long. She was also in Little Women. Oh, I think I've seen her in Little Women first. She was really good in that too. Why are they talking about Zendaya in this? Oh, she's in Marvel too, yeah. So it says this English actor is one of the few newcomers making a full court press with Marvel. Yes, Zendaya is in Spider-Man, but signed on nearly a decade ago. It's safe to assume to Sweeney will be in. Why are they talking about Zendaya and Sweeney in this? Okay, yeah, Zendaya is in Marvel. Zendaya is in Marvel, but Zendaya, I don't consider Zendaya like in Marvel. Like she's like in Marvel, but Zendaya's not in Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like she's there, but she's like not there. You know, there's those actors that you consider like Marvel actors, like Chris Evans and like Tom Holland. Like they're obviously playing major characters, and Zendaya is playing a major character, but it's not like that. Next, we have Sydney Sweeney and Anya Taylor-Joy. I'm gonna do both at the same time. No, I don't consider her to be a movie star. I know she was in Once Upon a Time, and I know she was in Anyone But You. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Yeah, she was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood earlier on. She did that before Euphoria. I don't know. I consider her like a TV star. If anything, like you were in Euphoria, you were in White Lotus. Like you have movies, but it's not like she did Immaculate. I don't think Immaculate even did that good. I mean, she produced it, so that's good for her. Like I'm definitely applauding for that. But I don't think Sydney is there yet. I think she needs like two more movies. I don't know. I definitely feel like Sydney Sweeney, she's talented. She has the acting abilities. Well, I did my Euphoria videos back in the day. She definitely has the acting abilities, but we're not there just yet. Movie stars, like, you need to have movies. Like, you need to have your showing that I'm an actor movies. You need to have your blockbuster movies. I don't think she has that full filmography yet. And then Anya Taylor-Joy, who I just seen in Furiosa, so I know she's definitely has the acting abilities. Anya Taylor-Joy, is a movie star in my opinion. I think she's a movie star because she's a movie actress. Like she's been in movies since 2017 with Split. I feel like all her notable work is in movies. Even if they're not as profitable, she's definitely a movie star. And we don't even need to get too much into it that she's a movie star. We know. And then we have Zendaya, the unicorn. That's interesting to call her a unicorn. Is Zendaya a movie star? Is Zendaya a movie star? I don't know. This was kind of hard. Okay, so we know her. She's in Spider-Man. She was in The Greatest Showman, which was doing good, but I don't think she's like one of the main characters. I didn't see the movie, so I don't know. I've been a Zendaya fan since I was this tall. When I was this tall, I was a Zendaya fan, and now I'm this tall, and I'm still a Zendaya fan. But I don't know, it's hard. Because it's like, yeah, she did Spider-Man, she did The Greatest Showman, then she did Dune, then she has Challengers. So I feel like Dune and Challengers is it's like, boom, like she's right at the door. And Challengers was successful, but it wasn't like so successful that it was like, like one of those like, because I don't, with movies it's like you have to make your profit back, and you have to make like double, like you have to make 3 times as much as the movie costs for it to be profitable, according to people on Twitter, which I don't know. Is Zendaya a movie star? Yes, because I love Zendaya, so I'm gonna call her a movie star. Yes, you're a movie star, Zendaya, because I'll watch anything that you're in, except for The Greatest Showman. Okay, is that it? Oh, that's it. Being a child star when you're younger, started for as like a child star and started on like a Disney show or even like anything close to that. It's like it's hard to make that step from child star to movie star. And I feel like Zendaya and Jenna Ortega are kind of having like that similar career path. And I feel like maybe Jenna is following in Zendaya's steps because they were both on Disney. They both started on their own Disney show. They both started in a Disney show. They both got onto another show that is really successful. With Jenna, it was Wednesday, and with Zendaya's Euphoria. And I feel like Euphoria is obviously more adult, but I feel like Wednesday is still another opportunity for us to see Jenna's really acting skills. So I feel like that's really interesting that they're both choosing really good movies to propel themselves into movie stardom. With Jenna, it's like we need to see more movies from her, but with Zendaya, it's like obviously she's doing the right thing. And another thing with this list, the reason why it was so controversial is because there's no diversity really besides Zendaya and Jenna. Jenna is Puerto Rican, I think. Puerto Rican, and Zendaya is obviously black and mixed, biracial, black and white. But so it's like everybody else is white, and being white is okay, but we need to have more diversity in Hollywood, especially black male. We need more Latinos, Asians, especially. I feel like Asian people are having like their resurgence with representation, especially with it started with Crazy Rich Asians. I feel like Crazy Rich Asians. Crazy Rich Asians was a good starter point. Then we had After Sun. Then we had Everything Everywhere All at Once. And I feel like after that, we're starting to get more Asian representation. But I feel like we need to have that with black people. Like, we need more black males, especially black males in Hollywood. I feel like besides like Michael B. Jordan, like we have like Will Smith, which is like he's Will Smith is old. Okay. We have Michael B. Jordan, who is nearing 40, but we don't have a newer younger male who is getting there. We had Jonathan Major, but even him is like controversy, which I don't know what's going on with him. I just know that he's not where he was at one point. So I will volunteer for I'll volunteer for, okay? If you need a movie star, choose me, Hollywood. And I just feel like with Hollywood, it's really about getting opportunities or creating opportunities. In Hollywood, you really have to be given opportunities or creating opportunities. But creating opportunities is harder when you don't have all the resources. So I feel like it's easier for a Jacob Elordi. It's easier for a Sydney Sweeney to be given roles that are really give them a lot of room to show their abilities versus like Alexa Demi. Like, where's Alexa Demi at compared to her other Euphoria stars? Like, I think Alexa Demi has a lot of charisma. She has a lot of potential in do comedy. She has a lot of potential to do drama. And I feel like she's not been given those opportunities. Like, it's just like even Algie Smith, who was he was the main part of Euphoria 1, not as much as 2, but it's like you have to be given these opportunities for you to even be on this list. Like, Hollywood is really about opportunities and giving opportunities and obviously creating opportunities for yourself, but it's like it's hard to do that when you don't have the resources. Like, you obviously have to be given opportunities to create opportunities, and that's really what Hollywood's about. And I just feel like we're not there yet, and maybe we need to get there sooner. Or I don't know. So the final question of this video: does Gen Z have any movie stars? And the question is, yes, we do. We have Zendaya, we have Tom Holland, we have Florence Pugh, Anya Taylor-Joy, and Austin Butler and Timothee Chalamet. We do have movie stars. We have people who are coming up to be movie stars with Zendaya, Jacob Elordi. Who else? Was there more people? There was like 10 people. Those are the people I think who are coming up into movie stars. And I think we just need to create more opportunities for everybody. Diversity. We need diversity and up and coming talent in Hollywood. And I feel like hopefully we get there. Cause I don't know how casting works, or we just need to get there, okay? So yes, we do have up and coming movie stars. We need the younger Gen Z to get the proper representation, because I feel like is it really we don't have them. We don't have a lot of actors who are maybe like 19 and below. You know who I feel like was missing off this list? Ariana Greenblatt. Why was she not in this? She's up and coming. She's like 16. So I think she's 16 or maybe 17. So she should have been on this list. She's young, movie star. She's in Barbie. She's another movie coming out with Kevin Hart. Like, why was Ariana Greenblatt not on this list? Why was Damson Idris not on this list? Right. We need to talk about that. We need to talk about creating more opportunities for inclusion. Yes. All right, that was my video on this topic. Yes, if you liked it, please like and subscribe. I'll be having more commentary videos coming out, more reaction type videos coming out. Yeah. Make sure you follow me on Twitter and Letterboxd and Instagram.